Hold on one second. Hey, this is Mike Kollin. I've got a client of mine on here who just finished reading my book, and he's saying some really good things. So I wanted you guys to get this because the book is phenomenal. Okay, so all right, what was the last thing you started to say about the book? You couldn't put it down or something like that?
Yeah, once I started reading the book, it was just, it seemed like everything that it said, I could recall something in my life with an experience with a woman that I had that it was just like hitting the nail on the head with, Just, it made complete sense, and it actually brought all the confusion, brought it into like a ball, and I was able to like throw that ball away, and
You said
kind of glued everything together, all this information that I've known over the years, and these experiences that I had, and all the confusion,
right.
just gone. It was like, damn, this is why you've been the way you have been, because you're stuck in the left side of your head,
Right.
and then other times you're in the right side of your head, and you don't know the difference. You don't know how to control that.
Right.
And the book itself is just, I wish I would have found it 10 years ago.
Yeah. He said he wished he would have found it 10 years ago. Would have saved you a lot of pain, huh?
Yeah, I've been through so much pain.
Right.
I can't even begin. I don't know where to begin to tell you about the pain that I've been through with women.
Right. Well, let me say something about that. What I was going to say when you first said that, before I started this recording, it's good that you got your ass kicked and got it kicked hard and got hurt, because what that does is it causes you to open your eyes, and it causes you to begin to look and go, okay, what the hell am I missing here? And so a lot of guys will go through their lives, 20s, 30s, and 40s, and they were married or had a long-term girlfriend, then broke up, and it's her, and then they get another girlfriend, and that lasts for 5 or 6 years. Now it's her. And there's this one guy. He was an owner of a big business here where I live, and we were at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and all the ladies were just loving what I was saying. And every time I show up to meetings, they want to talk to me more. And so this one lady was his secretary, and she goes, I'm going to bring him to the next meeting. He really should be coming to these meetings anyways. I go, okay. And he shows up, and she goes, hey, this is Mr. So-and-so. Hey, nice to meet you. Now, I didn't understand why she introduced us. She kind of did. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest with you. And she goes, oh, yeah, this is the guy, he's been divorced. I think he said 3 times, and now he wants to get married again. And he said something that just dropped all the women's jaws. And she introduces, well, this is that guy, Mike Kollin. He's the guy that does the male-to-female communication and helps men meet women and save their marriage and teaches them how to communicate, what women want. He goes, no. I don't need anything like that. And I go, really? I go, well, why is that? He goes, oh, no. I just need to find the right woman. Do you see where that's kind of a huge misnomer?
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, now that I'm aware of this, just in the past week, I must say that I can see where women think we're just half-wits. I really can, because I try to tell some other guys, some of my friends about this, and they just don't want to hear it. They're like, I don't even want to hear about that right brain shit, Eric, what they tell me. Like, all right, man, I don't know, whatever. I feel like I can't even talk to dudes now. I mean, I know I can. I just talk linear to them. But there's a whole other thing going on that they just simply can't even process. They can't even fathom it. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah, I wrote the book. I know exactly what you're saying.
It's just a shock to me to really see that and think, wow. And I remember many times where women right in front of me were talking, and I looked at them and I thought to myself, what are they talking about?
Yeah, it was confusing. Like what the fuck are they saying?
What are you guys talking about? And they'll just be like, nothing. Don't worry about it.
And they're speaking English right in front of you. And they're like, what are they saying? Like, it makes no sense, right?
You can't hear it. And I'd further like to add on top of that, now that I'm listening to music, it's all popping out at me. Songs that I didn't hear the message before.
Right.
I listen to it now, and it's shocking. Like, there's a song I can send you it by Skrillex, and it's really evil. I mean, the song's a beautiful song, but they're singing about it being in hell.
It's what? It's what?
They're singing about being in hell.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, like, but you can't hear it because they're using the way they're singing it. It's like they're not saying the words perfectly clear. So it's almost like your mind has to hear it. Your logical mind isn't gonna hear it because it's not grammatically correct.
Because it's not logical left brain male communication. It's right brain communication. Do you see it and hear it now, don't you?
Yeah, and it pops out like something else that wasn't. You didn't see it before. It wasn't there. But it's kind of crazy because it's so easy to hear once you hear it. You're like, oh wow, I can't believe I didn't hear that.
It's literally like I opened your brain up to a brand new world that's been right in front of you, all around you, your entire life. Would you say that's true now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It really did. I mean, I saw commercials where it's being put in your face that man and woman are communicating differently, you know, and it's really subtle. You just won't even know unless it's pointed out to you. You can't even, like I said before, if you're in your logical brain, you cannot process it. It doesn't work.
Right, because like we were talking about the color pink and fuchsia, it's such a key word. Now, I hope you guys are picking up on this. I'm putting the phone right next to the microphone, so hopefully, I'm assuming it's picking up. I was talking about the difference between the color pink and fuchsia and how I couldn't tell the difference, until I opened up to my right brain, and then like, whoa, there is a difference, and you can tell. And that's what you're saying. This language is very subtle, yeah?
Yeah, it's subtle, but not when you're aware of it. It's in your. I mean, it's.
Yeah, once
I don't know. It's something available,
Once you see it, it becomes really obvious, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's really disturbing too, I must say.
Okay, disturbing in what way?
It's disturbing because there's it's not just women. I mean, there's a whole order of people that teach each other this stuff. They're speaking in front of everyone.
Right.
And your average person has no clue as to what's being done to them, and they're literally using hypnosis through this language, through the television and radio, and
yeah. And
these are bad people that are doing this.
Have you?
People in dark satanic orders.
Well, don't want to use that word.
Which I don't really want to talk too much about. Honestly,
well, have you noticed how our politicians are using this indirect hidden language?
Yes. Yeah, they're programming everyone.
Yeah, they're programming, conditioning us, whatever you want. Influencing us is another word. This is why it's important for the average person, the average voter, to wake up and learn this stuff and see what's going on, and then because then they can't just be swayed. I look at people on Facebook, it's like they have no idea, and I'll even write down like, well, so and so used embedded commands there, internal language, this and that. So yeah, so I don't want to go too dark on this. I want to stay on the happy stuff. But the good thing is now that you see it, do you see how, number one, you're safer? Number two, that now you have more choice and more power.
Oh, and not only that, but the potential I see in front of me is unlimited. It's like wondrous, kind of, the wondrous feeling. Like I just wonder what's going to come next.
Right. Yeah, and isn't that a fun place to live?
It is. It's how do I explain it? The best way to describe it is it's like divine. Like a place of where you're seeing divinity.
Right. Yeah, it is.
Which is deep, I mean, I know a lot of guys that are listening to this are thinking, well, I'm just doing this to meet girls and whatnot. But
well, yeah, but what's wrong? But what's wrong with that? Okay, go ahead.
When you start seeing this, you realize that this is more like talking to girls thing is it's really not that hard, man. I mean,
right.
What you're opening up to is something completely on another level. It's, like I said, it's wondrous. You don't really know what's going to come next. Hopefully it's all good. I kind of say.
Right. hold on one second. Sorry, I was turning the light on.
Sure.
I noticed something was kind of gloomy, and it's like I have this extra light I put on. I forgot to put it on. So I'm looking at my video. So, I don't even. We can talk about what we were going to talk about before, but is there anything else you wanted to say? Like you were mentioning how the book was. I don't think you used these words, but I think it's what you're saying. You said you couldn't put it down. It was enjoyable. It pulled you. Would you say the book pulled you through?
Pulled me through as far as, what do you mean?
It was fun to read. It was interesting. It was fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say, too, that it demystifies women, the whole situation where, there's been times where I'm talking to girls and I just do something and I don't even realize what I did and they're just walking away. They're like, quickly and abruptly, too. Like I just did something that was disgusting to them,
Right.
And now it's like, well, there was some kind of little body language I did that showed, like, that I was needy or desperate or something they just didn't like. It turned them off and they walked away,
Right.
Stuff like that, it's like, okay, now I know what I should do, what I shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Now you're seeing... Is that... Yeah. Now you're seeing that just being a normal male and approaching women in the male way, how it literally makes you look desperate, it makes you look aggressive, and it can intimidate them, scare them, weird them out, just simply by being a male, a normal, healthy male. You see that now.
Well, the funniest thing is like right now I got a nice deep tone to my voice, but if you had heard me just before I read the book, man, I got recordings of myself. It's pretty funny. I was so nasally, I can't even believe it. Like talking like this,
Yeah.
And just talking to girls like that turns them off. What girl wants to hear a nasally guy? They want to hear that deep chest voice where they can actually feel it. Especially if they're hugged up on you, they can feel that right in their chest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, go ahead.
But,
Now, I just want to point this out. Now, what Eric's talking about, he's talking about when you're in your linear system, your left brain, you're talking kind of a nasally kind of way, and the thing is, you didn't notice it before you read the book, huh?
I did it at other times because I've been recording my own voice, doing my own hypnosis.
Okay.
And I always thought to myself, like, man, why does my voice, I don't sound like that, do I?
Well, no, right. What I meant, though, before that, when you were talking to women, you didn't realize you were doing that, huh?
No, talking to women, I did not. No, I did not realize it. And they were hearing it.
And it was irritating them. It was bothering them. Like, what is this guy? What's wrong with this guy? Most men are the male brain's a linear brain. And I'm talking to the clients now, and it makes you talk kind of linear. And you're so used to doing it, all of us, that we don't realize we're doing it. So that's why when I teach you how to open up to your internal awareness, it relaxes your voice. It drops it from your forehead down into your chest. And all of a sudden, women come flocking, and you're like, what, that little thing? Yeah, because it's a very relaxing, enjoyable experience, instead of some guy who's talking like this.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. You didn't cut me off. It's a trip, man. Read the book. Oh, I want to say this also. Okay. I told you earlier, just like I read in the book, that women feel like they're two people in one body. I have felt that way my whole life, and I got to say, my linear self, okay, has started a business. I'm a business owner. I'm my own boss. I did all that and getting it done, and in my linear self.
Right.
But Party Eric and the guy that plays music and is really fun and witty and cracks everyone up. Right. This guy has been gone for years, okay? And there's been other times in my life where he was gone also, and my life went boring. It just was like boring, like a prison. Mm-hmm. And it's been like that for the past 2 years. And now, after reading your book, I feel like this guy is back, and I'm back, dude. I feel like I didn't even realize I was gone again. And now here I am, ready to party again and hang out.
Now it's time for fun.
Weird feeling. Like I've been high. Like I just want to smack myself and be like, "What were you doing, man?" Like I think about some of the stuff I was saying to girls just like a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
And that's not me, you know what I mean? Over the years, I've gotten plenty of girls. I've always, a lot of it, like I was saying, I had no control over it. It was like sometimes I'd be on point, everything would work great, and then other times, just dead in the water, you know? Very strange.
Do you see how guys will say, man, I'm going through a dry spell?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I've been through them. I've been through dry spells, and then I've been through wet spells. No pun intended.
Yeah. Well, now do you understand? Now do you understand why guys like literal, like you were saying before? You know, when we were on the phone earlier before I started recording, you were saying, man, there was times when I could just pick up on women and boom, 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 and then there's times when I couldn't. I didn't understand why. So now do you understand the phrase, I got lucky last night, or I got lucky with this girl?
Yeah, I do.
Because you weren't.
They can't even connect with a woman because they're on the wrong side of their brain. They can't even do it. It's not possible.
Right. But
for them, it is getting lucky because the girl's deciding that she's just going to do that for whatever reason because she wants to.
Well,
it's not that she's
yes.
about him.
Yeah, but okay, but remember when you were saying, like, we're talking about dry spells and wet spells.
Yeah.
Remember when you were saying, like, there was times when you can just pick up on women, but you didn't know why. And that's why it's called getting lucky, because unconsciously you were saying, you know, now that I read your book, you know, I was in my right brain, but I didn't know it. Remember that?
Yeah, and that's the truth.
And so now that you've read the book, you understand, oh, I'm in my linear brain now. Oh, I'm in my right brain now. And I guess let me try to say this in a short way. Instead of accidentally getting lucky, meeting a girl, having sex, accidentally being in your right brain and attracting women without knowing what the hell you did, oh yeah, man, I'm cool. Because you feel like you're this really cool dude. The women like me. They're all over me. And then a week later, like, fuck, they won't even talk to me. What the fuck, right?
Yeah, they stop calling me because, you know, 'cause I'm talking to them on the phone, and now I'm all of a sudden linear Eric on the phone trying to impress them and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I say don't try to impress a woman, because you're gonna make her run.
You know what happened to me too? I started listening to a bunch of rap music, and it was just all rap music is about guys talking about how they got all this money and they got all these bitches because they got all this money, and got all these gifts they give girls and stuff. And I kept listening to that, and I think it programmed my unconscious mind to start talking to girls in that manner and like let them know what I got going on and all about my money and stuff. It's just retarded. You really got to watch what you listen to. You really do.
You got to watch what influences you.
Yeah.
What goes
in comes out, you know. That's the best way to say it.
So now that you have a business and you're making money, did that work?
No, not really. But I will say that it doesn't look bad. You know what I mean? I think there is something to say about being successful, but I mean, in a woman's eyes, that does look good. That's not going to hurt you at all. But when you're trying to rely on that to get in her pants, good luck to you.
Right. I hope that picked up. He said when you're trying to rely on that, good luck. Because didn't you say you were like in a 2-year prison when you were in your left brain building your business and you couldn't meet women?
Yeah, and actually, I didn't even try to meet women. I decided to hang it up because I wanted to focus on my business, and I knew that. Well, there's a lot of reasons we can go into later, you know, because this is being recorded. But it was the biggest mistake to stop talking to women that I've probably ever made. Oh. And so imagine for 2 years, I'm just Mr. Linear, get it done, get my dollar right, and then I go out and try to talk to girls, you know.
And it didn't work.
On the one hand, no, actually, I put myself through some pain real quick. But I think I needed it. Kind of like be smacked in the face again and be told, hey, look, bam, wake up. That's not the way you do it.
Right.
You know?
Basically what I'm saying is you don't need to be a rich guy to pick up on women. In fact, even if you are a rich guy, I know this for a fact. I go to one of the top clubs in the world here in San Francisco, and these rich guys will roll in, and the women, not only do they not like them, they set them up, they use them, get them to spend money on them. All right, see ya. And they purposely will waste 2 or 3 of their hours So the night's almost over or is over and the guys can't pick up on another girl. And because women resent, they get angry when a guy thinks, "Oh, I've got a nice car, I've got a nice suit. Hey, look at me." And she's like, "What does that have to do with turning me on?" It has nothing. If you think a diamond ring, a car is going to turn a woman on sexually, you are smoking some good stuff because it's a fantasy. That it's nice to have that stuff. But I'll tell you what, right now, 10 times, 100 times more powerful is when you learn how to open up to your right brain, because that literally draws women to you. When you're conscious of being in your right brain, speaking the internal language in a descriptive way, all of a sudden you're meeting women, they're giving you their numbers, or making out with you, you're going home with you. Now, this is what I meant by dry spell and wet spell. There's a difference between not knowing what you did on accident unconsciously versus now. You're very conscious of, whoa, I'm being linear right now, or wow, I'm in my right brain. So when you can consciously do that and speak the internal language on purpose, now you can choose to pick up on women instead of accidentally, well, I got lucky. Do you understand what I was trying to say earlier?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I overwhelm you?
And it's funny too because before I read your book, I did have, because like I said, I'll pop in and out. I've been trying to get back into partying, seeing with some friends and stuff in the past like 4 months, and I had a couple good nights where it was, I was in my right brain. I know this now, and in fact, this one night it was funny. It's exactly what you said. Being in your right brain draws the women to you. Because I was just standing there with my friends, and this girl comes up, this really attractive girl, and just puts her arms around me. And it kind of shocked me. I was like, "Whoa, hey!" And my reaction freaked her out, and she took off without even saying anything.
Right, because you.
So I was like, "Whoa, what just happened?" You know what I mean?
I didn't understand the last sentence. Say that again.
Oh, sorry. Basically, a really attractive girl just came up to me and put her arms around me and said hi.
Right.
And it shocked me.
Right.
And my reaction totally turned her off, and she turned around and walked away. And I turned around and looked at my friends, and they all looked at me like, "Did that just happen?"
Yeah, because what it was you were in your right brain. And, a lot of people think I'm full of shit. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, literally, women will come to you when you're in your right brain because they feel comfortable and they're like, wow, this guy's sensual, and they want to be around it. They love that feeling. So what you did unconsciously, it shocked you, caught you off guard, and you jerked back into your male linear brain, and then she's like, oh shit, and she took off.
Immediately she did. Mm-hmm. Like it was instantly. So women are on point, and I got to say to every guy out there, don't try to lie to your women. Because they're going to find out.
Right. Women can read body language very well. Now that you're open up to your right brain, you can see that now, can't you?
Yeah, I really can. You just become aware of a lot more. Absolutely. All at one time, too,
What's that?
You become aware automatically all at one time of things.
Right.
It's kind of like you just can tell. Really weird.
Well, I tell you what. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and I'm really wondering, like, what's going to happen when I really open up my right brain. Because I'm making this a point now to explore this.
You'll get more power, and that is what my course is really about. Whether you're a salesman, a businessman, an athlete, a wife, a husband, a parent, you step into your power literally, and that, in one phrase, is what all of my courses are about. Whether it's personal development, working with a professional athlete, a single guy trying to meet the girl of his dreams, a married husband, like, what am I doing wrong? You're not inside your power. Your power is internal. Remember when we were talking about what Jesus says, look within, look within? These are techniques he's actually trying to say. It doesn't go in depth, but what I teach you, once you learn it in my course, you're like, wow, that's exactly what he was trying to say. So yeah, your power is inside you. It's not out there. That's why when men are all being Mr. Linear, you literally are pushing your power out there. So now you're powerless. There's no power. That's why you want to put your awareness inside and learn how to open up and receive. That's power. When you truly learn how to step into it, and I mean literally into it, all of a sudden, do you notice how people... I know you're kind of new to this, so maybe you're not quite there. I don't know. But do you notice how people are starting to look at you different, or even women might be drawn to you now, or anything at all?
I do notice I do notice that girls are just staring at me a lot. Like, I mean, I'm not a bad-looking guy, but I don't think it has anything to do with my looks.
No.
Nothing to do with it. And yeah, they are eyeballing me.
Re-
If I don't eyeball them back correctly, they look away really quick and they don't look back.
Right, and that's the point.
You got to eye contact them and let them know that, yeah, bam. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so there's a certain way to look at women that will draw them in, or if you do it the other way, like you said, like that girl took off. If you jump into that part of your brain, boom, they're like, whatever, he's one of those guys. So remember what I want to say this for the video for people who haven't seen my past videos. Remember, the male mating system is in the same place as the female. It's in the same part of the brain. The difference is there's nerves that connect to the optic nerves in our eye that connect to our eyes. So men are visually turned on. And this is what screws men up. Well, so are women. No, women aren't. So if you're trying to rely on your looks, your suit, your shirt, your haircut, your polished rims on your car, paying for an expensive dinner, that's all visual. That's what attracts men, because men are visual. Women are looking for a right brain. Now, one thing about the right brain, it's not only the internal brain, it's also the emotional, spiritual, five senses processor. It's also the social brain. And this is why if you go to a party, even in a business party, even with friends, men and women, if you're in your right brain, people will talk to you more. They're going to want like, whoa, look at Eric. Look at him, man. He seems pretty cool. It gives you more social power when you're in the right brain, literally, okay? So does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, it sure does too. I mean, who wants to sit there and talk analytically while you're partying? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's boring.
And a lot of guys do that. They take that linear thing into everything, into sports, at lunch, to work, to talk to a girl, to go to a party. Okay, let me ask you this question. Why do you think most people, especially men, rely on getting drunk when they go to clubs or parties?
Oh, I can tell you the reason I relied on it, because it would open me up. I would assume to my right brain, because I would be all loose all of a sudden. And you know what I mean? To a point, once you have like 5 or 6, then you start getting sloppy. But you have a couple of them, and you don't have that fear anymore.
Well, that's a good point. Let me catch you on that. I have another client who says, I'm kind of afraid when I go out to clubs. Now, this guy's a very powerful entrepreneur, and I'm like, you get afraid when you go? He goes, well, yeah. And I'll tell you why. Because he's one of those businessmen that's being ultra-linear, trying to impress the women, and everyone's looking like, fuck you, dude. Because that's the judgmental, that's the right or wrong part of your brain. When you go to a social gathering, if you're going around nitpicking people, even if you're not conscious of it, it doesn't matter. When you're in a judgmental brain, people are like, yeah, fuck that guy. You should be afraid because they're all looking at you like, I don't want to talk to you. And it's kind of like, whoa, what's going on? So what you need to do is open up to your right brain, and it's the open brain. It's not the male push energy. I'm looking at you. I'm judging you. It's the acceptance. It's the allowance brain. So now people are like, well, I like this guy, because unconsciously they don't feel judged by you. They feel comfortable, so they're going to want to talk to you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So it's all, for women, it's all about social behavior, because the right brain is the social brain. When they now here's the thing, a lot of would say, oh, I'm visual. No, you're actually not. You're visual to the extent of watching his social behavior and his social body language. There's a linear body language, and then there's a right brain open social body language. And when women see this in a man, boom, they're attracted. Do you get that?
Yeah, and I want to add to that I've been into the pickup artist community for a while too, and for a long time actually. And
I didn't know that.
Success. Yeah, well, since I was 24, I got that book, The Game, when I was 24.
Right.
And actually, it did help me. I actually got pretty good over the years of seeing a lot of the body language that you're talking about. But what I would do is I was kind of faking it, like I would know that, okay, if I do this, then I know it's going to turn her off, so it wasn't automatic.
Right.
Which still works. It still works, and actually it works very well. But the problem is that you're tricking her. You're not really in that congruent. You're not really congruent with it.
Right.
So as she's going along with you, and because she's going to start analyzing you big time and testing you and judging you to see if you're exactly what she thought you were, and she's going to see right through you.
Because
you get some punani out of the deal, but you're not going to have a long-term relationship.
Right, because you're not being genuine. You're not being you. See, this is why women test men so much. Because they're, a lot of guys like, why do women always test you when you're at clubs? It's because they're trying to find out, is this who you fucking really are, or are you putting up a front? Because guys, I had this Latin girl come up to me at the mall. She goes, Mike, I'm like, yes. She goes, since you do this male to female communication and dating stuff, why do guys lie so much? I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, when you first meet a guy, he's this person. You really like him. But as you get to know him, it's like, oh, he's not. He's this person over here. And that, because, okay, I noticed when you were talking about, oh, the game, it worked. There was this tonality. Did you listen to your tone where it kind of worked, but there was this big but?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I kind of lost the thought. Go, you just go.
All right, so I guess what I'm saying is, now that you've read my book, do you see the complete difference between my course and all those other courses?
Yeah, actually, it's a little disturbing to me because it's such a simple thing that can be pointed out, and I don't understand why your course is the only one that does. I don't understand that. And then maybe I'm not being fair because I know that a guy like Ross Jeffries, I want to think that he does teach about the right brain, but another part of me says that no, he's not, and it's actually what he's doing is putting people into their left brains.
Yeah. Yes.
To get into hypnosis analytically, like trying to figure out how to do it.
Yes, NLP is what he's doing. NLP is a very left brain step by step, which is a male processing. It's a left brain processing thing. So you're right. I was watching an old video of another guy that teaches this stuff with a client, and I'm watching, and he goes, God, this seems so complicated. And I made him watch it, a couple videos for like 3 days straight. And he goes, do I have to do this? I'm like, no, you don't. I'm trying to point something out. I go, do you see how complicated that shit is? And it's like you were saying, you were doing some of the body language stuff, but now this is what you didn't say, because I don't think you're conscious of it, because you were doing it from your left brain, step by step.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you see that now?
Yeah, and I see that the pickup artist community probably hurt me a little bit more than it helped me, because it put me in my left brain, and I wasn't aware of it. So here I am going out in my left brain, tricking women, basically.
Yeah, you admit it. You were thinking, okay, now so the right brain is the emotional, spiritual, natural, genuine, authentic brain. It's the social brain. It's the emotional processor. The left brain is the logical processor. It's about rules, structure, and organization. It's about following a step-by-step pattern. Would you say that's absolutely what the pickup artist courses are about? Step 1, step 2, technique number 3, line number 4, line number 6. Would you say that's what it's about?
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is, and like I said, that can work, but it's only going to work for a while, man. She's going to see right through it.
Because women, when they first meet you, they have their emotional shield up, meaning they are in their left brain. They're going forehead to forehead. They're linear too. So in the beginning, when you first meet a girl, doing some linear stuff is okay, because she's kind of like, who is this guy? They don't want to open up emotionally. It's like they have the shield up. They're protecting their heart, their emotions. Technically, it's the right brain, the emotional processor. And so when they first meet you, they are left brain. So they're okay with you being linear in the beginning. But you're going to need to learn how to shift into your right brain and be internal, which these courses don't teach. So let me say this is what I was trying to say. Did you notice that when you were going out to these clubs or wherever to pick up on women doing the pickup artist store stuff, did you notice how you literally were thinking, that's left brain by the way, thinking of what you were going to do? Okay, I learned this, I'm going to do this opener, or I'm going to do this. Did you notice how it's almost like you were carrying a list in your brain?
Yeah, and I want to add to that when I did start to get good at it, it became more automatic. Like, all of a sudden, it was like I didn't need to think about it so much anymore, and I would kind of roll with things, and I think that's my right brain was actually opening up at those moments.
Right.
And does that make sense?
It makes exactly. It makes great sense. That it becomes more natural. So
yeah, I mean, I would be able to start talking. I'd walk up to a girl and just start start, like her and her friends start talking to him and then leave the bar with him. So whether or not I got all the way with him or not, that was another story. But that in itself says something, that you can just walk in, start talking to two girls that are just chilling there. And without even, like I said, I didn't have any thoughts about what I was going to do. I just did it.
Yeah, and that's what my course is more about. It teaches you how to be natural. See, when you open up to the right brain, you just see things from a woman's perspective, and you automatically know, like, oh, I shouldn't say this because I'm going to piss her off. One thing about the right brain, women will say think before you talk, but they don't really mean that. What they really mean is feel the emotions of what you're about to say, because that's how you know whether it's going to hurt someone or make someone happy. And if you're not sensing, technically feeling how, because you say it to yourself in your brain before you say it out there, but you're really feeling like, well, what is it like? Oh, that's going to piss her off. See, your right brain processes so differently that it's an automatic and almost intuitive. The reason why I don't like to say intuitive, because most guys don't understand it. It's the same thing as being on the football field. When you're in the zone, you're completely intuitive. You're just feeling it, man. You're just going with it. Football, boxing, kickboxing. I know because I've played sports since I was 4.5 years old, and I didn't stop till I was about 30 years old. And when you get into the zone, man, you can't lose. And that is what my course is about, getting you into the zone. That is what I condition into you. You learn how to just instinctually snap into that and be in that space. Just like an athlete, when he's warming up before a game, that's why they're warming up, because they're trying to get into the zone. And there's actually a step-by-step process, I know it's a left brain thing to say, to get you more and more into the zone to where it just becomes natural.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be, man. It's got to be natural.
Right.
That is, if you want a long-term relationship with a girl, it's got to be natural.
Right. Yeah, you've got to be inside yourself. When you do that, that's how you lead a woman. One of the phrases I tell my clients is, like, how do you lead a woman? And okay, let me ask you a question. How do you lead a woman?
How do I lead a woman?
Yes.
In what way? Like.
Here comes the.
That's kind of a big question, isn't it? Or maybe I
No.
just don't know.
Yeah.
100%.
You're doing the typical male bullshit technique. If you were to be honest, if you were to be really honest and direct, you'd say, I don't really know, because you don't.
I don't really know, man. I'll admit it.
Yeah, because you don't know, and it's okay. Most guys don't know. The way you lead a woman is by leading yourself.
Yeah, okay. You're right. Yeah.
That's what a woman is looking for in a man. Is he self-led? Is he internal? Look, like Jesus says, look within. If you're internal leading you, that's what a woman wants to be with. But if you're an external guy, you're out there, you're literally looking for someone to tell you what to do with your life, where to go, what's right, what's wrong. You're out there, that linear male external thing. And let me ask you this question. Again, I know you haven't taken my course yet. You haven't even, this is the first time we spoke. Can you, from reading the book, and again, I don't know how much I emphasized it. For some guys they do, some guys don't. Can you now look at guys and tell when they're external and they're looking around the room?
Oh man, that's an understatement. Strictly the guys at work,
Yeah.
on the roofing crew. It was just like I went to work the next day after reading the book, and I would just talk to them about certain stuff, and I just started describing some things, and you can just see it in their faces, man. They squint, like they're trying to listen to what you're saying, and then they just get frustrated, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Change the subject, or it's pretty amazing. It really is. Yeah, you can definitely tell. 100%. And in your book, you talk about how when a guy's in his linear brain, he kind of squints. You have this serious look on your face, but to a woman that shows like a question mark on your face. And it's funny because I have had moments where a woman's looked at me before with a smile on her face, and she looks at me, and I look at her, and I have that serious look on my face, and she looks at me like, what? Like, what?
All right.
And I look at her like, what?
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
I look at myself in the mirror when I do that, and yes, it absolutely does look like I'm confused.
Right. And
I got a question.
But most guys think they're impressing. Look at me, I'm intelligent. Now, I'm going to do it right now so I get on the camera. When you think that you're being intelligent, Mr. Linear, when you're thinking about stuff, you have this question mark, and a woman looks at you like, oh, he like literally that dude is lost. That guy doesn't know where he's going. He's got this what do you mean what? It's this question mark.
You know, the reality of it too is that if you're only in half your brain, yeah, you are confused. So
because you're missing.
Makes sense that you would have a confused look on your face, like what's going on.
Because you don't. That's why you're outside looking. It's like you're looking outside, going, well, "What's going on?" It's like on a kinesthetic level, you know, you can feel it. Something's missing, but I don't know what the fuck it is. My course will teach you how to connect with the other side of your brain and internal, and then boom, now you're solid. Now you're grounded. And this is what draws women to you. It's not about being cool. If you think this course is about being cool or macho or look at me, it's the opposite of that. It's about getting out of your ego and getting into your self. Ego, self. I pointed to my forehead and my chest. Your ego is when you're right in between your eyes, your eyebrows, when you're talking like this. When you open up, you drop down inside into your heart, into your body, into yourself. And that's when you're inside your power.
I want to say, too, the caveman aspect of the book is really great, too. I mean, I used to do some of the stuff that you're talking about, like pick up my girlfriend, smack her in the ass, and things like that. I used to do all that stuff, and girls do love that.
He's talking about the caveman techniques. I used to call my course Caveman Technologies. There's a natural, instinctual series of things that cavemen would do that would turn women on that men now, oblivious, just, they don't get it. Because we've been taught to be good little boys. We've been taught to respect women. Now, respecting women is good. But there's a time when you have to turn her on because she wants you to turn her on. And if you're trying to follow the rules and be Mr. Logical, I'm a good boy. If you think she's going to reward you for being a good boy, you're one of those husbands who hasn't had sex in 6 months because without realizing it, she's sleeping with some other dude.
Yeah, and it's disturbing too, man, because this, for example, this girl I was just talking to,
right?
Still kind of am. I started telling her that she's my little dog. I gave her a dog name and everything, and she's like loving it.
Right, or my little monkey.
That might sound bad to people out there, but for some reason,
I would say
talk to women like that, they're all about it. You know.
Well, I would say my little monkey or my little pumpkin head or something cute like that. But yeah,
she loves dogs, so
yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're my little dog. And
so it's different for every woman. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, let's wrap this up. Is there anything else you want to say? Because I want to kind of cut this off, and then I'll call you back on my other phone.
No, I mean, all I got to say is if you're a guy out there and you're confused and you're all tangled up in the pickup artist community, throw all that shit away and just get this book. It's really all you're going to need.
Right. He's talking about my book, Crack the Female Code, at crackthefemalecode.com. Buy it. It is worth it. He bought the package, which also came with my other book, Sex Signals, How to Read a Woman's Signals on When She's Saying, I Like You, I'm Attracted to You, Come Approach Me. Was that worth the extra $4? Or did you buy, go ahead.
I got the Crack the Female Code, and it came with In the Beginning and Sex Signals.
So that's a $29 package, which is $4 extra. Come on.
Yeah. And yeah, it was worth it. Absolutely. Because you want the Sex Signals one, because like I was telling you before, there are girls that they see that you don't know what's going on, they'll just play with you.
Right.
And they're not going to be showing those sexual signals if they're doing that, so it'll save you a lot of pain and a lot of trouble from these insecure, crazy chicks.
Yeah, you'll see through the bullshit and you'll see through the games, right?
That's right. Save yourself some trouble, heartache.
Yeah, getting your heart ripped out and getting your heart toyed with, and you see before you can't see. So you're in the linear brain, which is literally. I walk up to women like, "Have you ever noticed how men have blinders on?" Like, oh, what do you mean? Because most guys don't know this. you know, like a racehorse that's got blinders on both sides. It can only see right in front. She goes, and they laugh. And yeah, I know. You can manipulate them. You can play with them. You can trick them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, hey, this is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Let me ask you this one last question. What benefits would you say this will give guys? Like, how would this benefit guys and make their life better?
Well, I mean, I think one thing, the problem guys have, one of the biggest problems guys have in life is the fact that they don't understand their woman that they love, you know, and that can completely just demolish your life. So
Right.
Getting this understanding from this book is going to balance, I think, your life out in the very core level of where it needs to be,
Right.
which is man and woman, you know, being in harmony together.
Right. So would you say it's going to empower men and actually open guys' eyes so they can, it's like instead of like floating through life or getting blown around by the wind, like they can now take charge of the steering wheel, and in other words, take charge of their dating and relationship life?
Yeah, and in a very enjoyable way too.
Right.
It gives you a lot of power. It really does.
Yeah, it becomes
And
fun.
that's what the women want. They want you to have the power. Women want this. They want you to know this stuff.
Yes.
Even if they'll tell you they don't, they really do.
Right.
You know?
Have you noticed how it makes women happy when you're one of these guys?
Oh yeah. Yep. I've been on, and like I said, going back and forth from left brain to right brain. I can see it when I'm just talking to one girl. When I'm in the right brain, she's like all about me, telling me how I make her feel great and everything. And then she talks to me another day, and I'm Mr. Linear, and she doesn't really want to talk. She thinks something's wrong with me.
It irritates.
You know?
Yeah, they think there's something wrong with you, like you're stupid or your brain, like you're missing something, and it irritates.
Yeah.
It irritates them.
Yep, that's not good.
No.
At all.
So would you say, okay, let's clarify something right now. Would you say that my course teaches men to manipulate women or to do something that women actually like, enjoy, and consciously understand?
The second one, definitely. What your course teaches is basically the mating ritual of human beings. So women definitely want men to get that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it really is. That's the way it boils down. It's when I said that, you know, if you're entangled up in the pickup artist community, you can throw all that shit away. I mean, I really mean that.
Yeah.
Really mean that about the book. I've read all kinds of books from all of the gurus, the so-called gurus.
Mm-hmm.
And after reading your book, I realized, you know, I don't want to say too much about it, but I think they're all actually consciously and purposely hurting you. They know what they're doing. They're putting you into your left brain. I don't know why they'd be doing that. That's for, you know, another discussion, but
right.
You guys really need to get away from that shit.
Yeah, it because it doesn't help. It makes it hard. You hurt women when you do that stuff. Do you understand that my course is not about hurting women at all? It's about loving them. It's about understanding them. It's about, you know, here, I'm going to use some phrases that women like. It's about clarity, understanding, love, communication. Now, here's the thing that guys don't understand. All of those things is what leads her to want to have sex with you. Now, here's something that Tony Robbins also said. I don't think he explains it in depth in my course, and I don't think he gives you the communication skills that I give. When a woman truly feels understood by a man, she will make love to you. I did not say trick. I did not say lie. I said opening up to your right brain and perceiving the world from her perspective and understanding her from that same perspective. That is understanding. When you understand a woman from a logical left brain perspective, you don't understand women. But when you open up to the right brain and get really good at perceiving her and the world around her from that perspective, and then speak the internal language, and there's a few other things that go along with that, the body language, etc., she's looking at you going, whoa, this guy understands me. Boom. She's going to want to bond with you. She's going to want to make love to you. She's going to want to spend time with you because she understands you, not because of a trick or because you did a line or an opener because you wanted to get laid. Here's the good thing. You don't have to trick women to get laid. And that's what I've been trying to tell guys. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to hurt her. You don't have to lie. You don't have to cheat. You can be upfront and honest once you step into your own power. Once you do this, can you think of a better word of what I'm trying to say? It's about truth. It's about being truthful. It's about being upfront.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You just can't fake it, man. Women can see right through you. They can see more than you can. They can. I mean, like it or not, you can't trick them.
Right.
You can trick them to get in their pants while they're drunk at a club. You can do that. But if you're looking for long-term relationship and for something that's meaningful and it's gonna move you forward as a man, because that's what a woman's supposed to do.
Right.
Then you got to be genuine. You got to come at them for being you, man. And if you're coming at them being linear, being you,
that's not you. That's not yourself.
No, it's not. And you know what? It's so not yourself. It is so not. Because like I was telling you, I feel like a new man. Like I've been away, and this man has been out plenty of times. I know this man.
Right. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of a cute way to say that or a good phrase, but I think I'm just gonna let it play because, man, I don't know. I don't really know how to wrap this segment out because this really is, we're capturing what my course is really about. Okay, this is what I want to say. I know you said, well, the pickup artist courses will get you laid, but it won't keep a relationship because after a while, she's going to start to see like, oh, this isn't who you really are. So let me ask you this question. Would you say understanding how to be internal, the internal awareness, how to approach women naturally, would you say that this makes it a lot easier to pick up on women and get laid and have a long-term, truthful bonding relationship?
Yeah, because I will say this, when I really focus on my right side of my brain and I start thinking about the world of hand in both, which is in your book,
yes,
I start to understand like where women are coming from, because when you're in your logical brain, you can't understand how 2 + 2 could equal 25. You can't understand that. But when you're in your right brain, you can, because it's like, if you want to talk about the Bible, it's like that story about when Jesus fed the crowd of people with a basket that, he just kept pulling bread and fish out of and giving to people. It's basically this mindset where there is no set rules or any type of linear logic. It's just
right.
There is nothing but abundance that can come out of nowhere for all.
Right.
And when you understand that, and you understand that women are somewhat thinking like that, I mean, they're still in their logical brains too. Mm-hmm. But they're thinking like that, and you start thinking like that, and they simply just understand you. And I think that's the biggest problem between man and woman, is they don't understand each other. So
yes.
We just understood each other. We're meant for each other. We're meant to be together, man and woman.
Right. Now let me say this. You were talking about your buddies or coworkers or something, and you were saying how you were trying to talk about this, and they squinted. Now, when they squint, by the way, that's how you know they're going into their left brain, and they're processing it through the left brain. But you're talking about right brain stuff, which you did just now when you talk about Jesus and the bread, which is extremely vague and abstract. And I bet men are going, wait, you guys just lost me. And that's why you guys got to take the course.
What I was saying with that, though?
I did, but a lot of guys watch this video on my homepage are gonna be like, wait, what? They're like, we were with you for a while. Where the fuck did you go with that? So here's my point.
And I can see it clearly, but I know where they're coming from. It makes no sense to them.
All right, so here's my point. One of the, I'm going to use the word technique because it's a male brain thing, but I actually wasn't doing a technique. I was actually communicating in a way that women understand. There's this guy at the club in the city. It's at a really cool club called the Matrix, and he was a pickup artist, and you could see it from his clothes to the way he was standing up against the wall. And I walked up to him and I go, "Hey," he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Pickup artist, huh?" He goes, "What?" I go, "Pickup artist." He goes, "What are you talking about?" I go, You're a pickup artist, aren't you?" He goes, "Is it that obvious?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking obvious." So he was trying. I tried to explain to him about internal language, and he's like, nah, dude. No. I've studied with so and so and this guy. I did this and that. Oh, I'm really good. I'm like, okay, well, show me. So we went outside and he approached these two beautiful blonde girls, and they never opened up. Their body language is closed to him, and they never opened up. And he's dive bombing, he's blowing it. So I stepped in to save his ass, and I started talking about the right brain, internal language, and all this stuff. And what I noticed, this was years ago, was he kind of looked at us. Oh yeah, he did the male bullshit technique, which you did a little while ago. And I said, how do you lead a woman? He goes, oh yeah. And you can hear it in his voice, yeah, I'm lying. What the fuck you got? And he should have just been honest and said, I don't understand a word you guys are saying. So what happened was, I kept talking and talking, and the girls opened up to me, and they turned, and they started touching me and my shoulders. Oh, yeah. And they just, man, we were having this dialogue, and he literally faded out and stepped out of the circle because he was like, I have no idea what they're talking about. And then after I got their numbers, I stepped back, and he goes, so basically, it's just bullshit, right? I'm like, what? He goes, well, when you talk to a woman, you're just lying. You're just, I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, you guys weren't saying anything. I'm like, oh yeah, we were talking about this, and he goes, yeah, but you weren't really talking. You weren't. I'm like, we were speaking perfect English. He goes, well, yeah, I could hear you speaking English, but do you understand how literally when you speak the right brain language, the left brain is like, I have no idea what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that?
It's real. It's scary. Like I was telling you, it's kind of weird when you see it and you see that. Yeah, literally. There's another language going on right in front of your face. It's a little bit of a shocker, man.
It is a shocker because women will talk shit about a guy right in front of his face, but they'll do it in this hidden internal way, and he has no idea. And he's smiling and, oh, yeah. And they're looking at him like he just doesn't get it, does he?
Yeah, I just recently met a girl's mom, her grandma. It was sprung upon me. She just sprung it on me that we're going to go eat dinner with them. So I went and was in my linear brain and I couldn't even think of anything to say, right? So then afterwards, was at the mall, after we were done eating, I was walking around the mall with her, and they walked up to us, and I think they were following us and watching me. They walked up to her and they started talking with her. And it was something I just figured it was something that they knew what they were talking about. I think they were talking about me right in front of me, and they were telling me that, nah, this guy's not worth a damn.
Oh, wow.
Right in front of me.
Right.
Yeah. I really think that's what went down. I really do.
I guess what I was trying to say is I realized, I'm going to use the word technique again, which I'm just going to say it in a way that I think guys will understand. I realized it's literally a technique to blow guys out. So you don't have to do any negative things towards him. You could simply speak the internal language about love, life, peace, work. And guys get so confused, they end up pulling themselves out, and you don't have to talk shit about them. And I realized all I have to do is speak the right brain language, and all of a sudden these guys get lost and confused, and the girls lock onto me and like, whoa, this dude, he's speaking our language.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, I want to wrap this up, and I'll call you back in about 2 minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. Say goodbye.
Later.
All right. See you, everyone. I'll call you back, buddy.